Hello students, welcome to the channel. Today we'll do an SAT-ACT grammar drill focused on redundancy, concision, and tone. So I'll explain each of these as we go along. Let's begin. Question 1. He believes his sampling of other artists' music qualifies as fair use, a legally permissible borrowing of copyrighted material for a transformative purpose. So here we are speaking of someone who uses other artists' music for his own creation, and he feels that that sampling is fair use. It is a legally permissible borrowing of copyrighted material for a transformative purpose. So if I look at the options, the first option asks me to keep the words, the phrase as it is. The second option says legal and lawful use of. Now, if you notice, legal and lawful mean the same thing. And so this option is redundant because it repeats words that mean the same thing. And so it can't be the answer. If you look at option C, a legal acquisition through borrowing. This is self-contradictory because to acquire something is to basically come to own it, and to have it as your own, while borrowing is something that you only keep for a certain amount of time before you return it. So this option is self-contradictory. So that also is not correct. And option D says a valid means or acceptable method, in other words, to borrow. Now this is what is called too long an option. Something that is not concise. It is not concise or precise, right? When you can say the same thing with fewer words and make the sentence precise, concise, and succinct, you should not use an option that employs so many words. And so the right answer in this case is no change. The borrowing of copyrighted material is legally permissible. So something that is lawful, legally permissible, borrowing of copyrighted material. So the right answer is A. Okay, let's go to the next question. Harvard economist Erez Yoeli and his colleagues have learned that reputation is a strong incentive for making choices that aid the public good in ways that benefit everyone. Now here I'm talking about some research that has been done by an economist and his colleagues, which says that reputation is a strong incentive for making choices that aid the public good in ways that benefit everyone. So reputation is how you're perceived by others, and that is a strong incentive to make choices that would help everyone, that would aid the public good. Now, public good basically means something that is shared by everyone, the common good, the good of all, right? So this part, if you look at option A, this part kind of becomes redundant because it means, public good means that you're trying to benefit everyone, right? So option A cannot be the right answer. In option B, again, in society is redundant because when you say public good, you mean social good, good of those in society. So that's redundant, that's not needed. So B is out. In option C, for all is also redundant because when you say public good, you imply it is the good of all, right? So it can't work. And so the right answer is option C. You simply have to say that reputation is a strong incentive to make choices that aid the public good, which means that benefit everyone, that benefit everyone in society, that benefit all, right? So this is what we need to do for a question that tests redundancy. Okay, let's go to the next one. On June 20, 1965, murmurs of excitement filled a Kingston, Jamaica auditorium where way more people than were expected gathered for commencement services at the University of the West Indies. So here I'm describing an event at the University of the West Indies where there were commencement services happening. and a lot more people than were expected came for the services. Now, this question tests us on tone. Tone meaning, how would you write something in a formal passage, right? The words that you would use to convey that this is a formal passage that can appear in a magazine or a journal, right? So way more people than expected, that doesn't sound too formal, right? Because this is not the kind of language you would use in a published text, right? This is called colloquial language. Colloquial language meaning language that you would use in day-to-day conversation, right? Like slang is colloquial, or even other kinds of normal day-to-day words that you use, right? So way more people is not formal. So I'm not happy with A. An unusually large crowd. That sounds good, right? I'm saying that there was a crowd that gathered there, and it was unusually large. It was larger than what was expected. So I like this, so I'm going to keep it for now. A whole bunch of unexpected people. Again, a whole bunch is way too informal, right? That is not how you're supposed to write in a text, in a proper text. And a whole bunch of unexpected people doesn't really convey the sense that the number of people was unexpected. This makes it sound that the people themselves were somehow unusual, right? So this also distorts the meaning that we are trying to say. And option D, an enormous crowd of an unparalleled nature. This is what is known as an exaggerated option, right? It is just too long and it tends to convey the idea with more words than is necessary. So it is not concise. It is not concise. And we should always look for an option that conveys the information concisely, that doesn't take too many words. So I'm not going to go with D also. So B is the best answer. An unusually large crowd gathered for commencement services. Okay, next question. Pilots who fly planes for crop dusting and other purposes experience disquiet regarding the presence of drones in the airspace above farms. Okay, so here we are talking about farmland and some procedures being undertaken, crop dusting, etc. And there is the discussion of drones doing this, and the fact that pilots who do fly planes for these purposes, they don't think drones should be doing it, right? So there is this kind of argument that the pilots are forwarding that drones should not be doing this purpose. So now the thing is, my first instinct when I read experience disquiet regarding, I feel that it's kind of exaggerated, right? Because this context, the context of crop dusting using drones over farms, does not merit the use of such strong words as disquiet, right? I would feel disquiet about a tragedy, right? So this is something to consider. This is something that you should probably worry about, but disquiet sounds extreme. So I'm not going to choose A. Now, stew over is colloquial. It is informal, right? When I say that I'm stewing over something, I am worrying about it, but I'm using very informal language. So I would not use it on SAT or ACT grammar because I'm supposed to use formal language. So I'll not do this. Get all worked up about is again informal. I use this to talk about somebody who is excitable, who reacts impulsively. So this is again something that I could use with friends, but not on a test. So this is informal. Worry about is formal. It is concise. It conveys the sense that, you know, pilots worry about the presence of drones. So this is the best answer, option B. Okay, next one. After cooking the horse a mash of oats and corn, the caretaker would watch him eat, taking notes of any changes in appetite noticeable to him while the horse was eating, right? Now, if you notice this context, describes a caretaker, a horse caretaker, who has cooked the horse a meal, and the caretaker watches the horse eat so that he, that is the caretaker, could take any notes if the appetite of the horse has changed. So if I think about it, I don't really need this, right? I don't need this because I'm already saying that he is taking notes of any changes in appetite, and it's happening while the horse is eating. That's very clear. That's understood. So this is redundant, right? This is redundant. It's not needed. The sentence already conveys what the underlying portion is trying to say. So A can't be the right answer. Okay, so option B, taking notes of any changes in appetite that become apparent while watching him eat. So again, that is obvious because if I'm taking notes of any changes in appetite, it means that those appetite changes would be apparent to me. I would notice them while the horse is eating. So this is redundant as well. So option C, taking notes of any changes in appetite that were noticeable to him. So again, that's not needed because if I'm going to take notes, those changes have to be noticeable to me, right? So this is also redundant. And so I should just delete the underlying portion and end the sentence with a period, right? So you see, in this kind of question, I was not really looking at grammar because grammatically options A, B, and C were fine. But I was looking at what the sentence was trying to say and if there were words that were not needed. So that is the challenge with redundancy questions, to spot words that are not needed, even if grammatically the sentence reads okay, right? Okay, let's go to question 6. Gemstones with a crystal structure, garnets, are formed many miles beneath the surface of the earth. They are really good in geologic dating. So here I'm talking about a kind of gemstone called the garnet. And I'm saying that they are formed many miles beneath the surface of the earth. And so they are really good in geologic dating. Now, again, if I say really good, it sounds kind of informal, right? I'm trying to say that gemstones, that is garnets, are used for geologic dating. So really good doesn't really capture that sense of what they are used for, right? So I don't like option A. Okay, they work so well when it comes to geologic dating. So one, this is not concise, right? It's just using too many words, right? I'm sure there is a way to say the same thing in fewer words, right? So that's the first problem. And then work so well. Is that the best way I can say what they are used for? Not really. So I don't like B. They are particularly useful for. Now that's a good option. I know that they are found beneath the surface of the earth, so they are particularly useful for geologic dating. This is what they are used for. So I'm going to keep this for now. And they do a pretty good job with. Now this, just when you read this, you see that this is very informal, right? A pretty good job is not something you would use in a formal text. So I don't like D. And so my right answer is option C. Garnets are particularly useful for geologic dating. Okay, let's go to the next question. Scientists can analyze garnets to determine the temperature and pressure of the earth when the gemstones formed. Such analyses are possible because garnets also contain monazite, a rare mineral that is easily dated. So here I'm talking about garnets again, and I'm saying that they can be used to study the temperature and pressure of the earth when these gemstones formed. And one reason that this analysis is possible is because garnets contain monazite, which is a mineral, a rare mineral that is easily dated. So you can easily find the age of this mineral, and you can then determine the age of the gemstone. So that looks good, right? That doesn't look exaggerated. That doesn't look informal. It doesn't have any redundancy. So I'm going to keep option A. Now, option B, monazite, a rare, easily dated mineral that makes these analyses feasible. Now, I'm already saying such analyses are possible in the sentence, right? So I don't have to repeat the fact that this mineral makes these analyses feasible. So this is the underlying part is redundant. I don't need to say that because it's already said in the sentence. So option B is out. Monazite, a rare mineral that is easily dated without difficulty. Easily dated indicates that it is without difficulty. So I'm kind of repeating that. So this is again redundant. I don't have to say that again. When I'm saying easily dated, I don't have to say without difficulty. So this is out. And option D, monazite, an easily dated rare mineral found in garnets. Now I know that garnets contain monazite. I'm already saying that. So I don't have to repeat the fact that this mineral is found in garnets. If I do that, I'm again employing redundancy because my sentence already says that garnets contain monazite. And so my best answer is option A, a rare mineral that is easily dated. So it is important to understand how to spot redundancy. When you have options where you're not being tested for grammar, but where you're basically looking at the same phrase, but it is being written in different forms, then choose the option that conveys the information correctly, does not distort the meaning, is concise and is formal, and does not have any repetitive information. If you do that, you'll get these questions correct. Hope this drill was useful. If it was, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends and help the channel grow. Let me know in the comments section what other drills in English and math you'd like me to upload, and I'll try and upload some. I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Take care. Bye-bye.